Go to work at a big, stable company. I love it. This person has basically like created an article out of the basic bitch boomer advice, and they basically said, oh, I've got a counterpoint to that one. I've got a counterpoint to that one. Okay, go work at a big, stable company. Why is it a bad idea to work at a big, stable company? According to this person, don't bother. You could start an artificial intelligence business to earn $10,000 a month, and then you don't have to worry about the layoffs. I think this is ridiculous advice. Absolutely ridiculous. Here's why. I think there are great benefits to either going to university or working in another business. There are some entrepreneurs who are literally just born with the gift. I consider myself one of them. I was starting businesses in high school, even in primary school, and I didn't really need to go to university. I just wanted to go out and jump into my business because while I was in my final years of high school, I was already making tens of thousands of dollars a year on the side in my side hustle. But for most people, they need to actually learn the skills of what does a business look like and how does it operate? How do the workflows and processes of a business operate? How does the corporate world work? How do you sign up a client? How do you create a pitch presentation? How do you network? How do you operate inside the team culture of a business? All of these things I had to learn the hard way because I didn't go to university and learn how to study and learn how the world works in the university world. And I didn't go and work at a big business, so I never learned how teams worked. I never learned how hierarchy worked. Now, there's been some advantages to me not learning those things, but I think for most people, if you're deciding on the path of entrepreneurship, it's probably a good idea for you to learn how real businesses work. Now, I did have one real job for one small point in time, and that was that I worked for a client for a year in a small business. And in that small business, I basically learned the ropes of how do I pitch a customer, how do I create a presentation, how do I send emails, how do I answer the phone. All those basic things were pretty important for me to learn. And so I think there is certainly value in working for somebody else and using that as an opportunity to kind of cut your teeth while you're on somebody else's dime. It's pretty hard to go and jump into a business full-time by yourself if you haven't had the context of how a business in your industry works or how a business in general works. So I think this one is a bit of a dud advice. Also, I think it should be said that if you are someone who thinks that you can just punch in some numbers or some prompts into AI and automatically build a business that's going to make you $10,000 a month, if you do, you're probably one of the lucky ones. But what that doesn't teach you is the fundamental business skills that you need to build a successful venture. And they only come over time. Just because someone jumps on a push bike and manages to ride down a hill without killing themselves doesn't mean that they're a solid rider. And so for you, you need to actually build your entrepreneurial skills as you're building a business.